So good morning, Nishit. My name is Rahul, and I'll cover the demonstration of Nomi for you today. So as you can see on the screen right now, we are on the dashboard. And before I start the demo, I would like to share the vision of Nomi with you. Nomi is all about the power of integration and automation of compliance and practice management and making compliance business for accountants super profitable. And this is the ethos of Nomi. Now, in general, what we see is that most of the accountants, they want to save time and money, and they want to remove any hassles, and they want the software that can help them run efficiently. And this is what the software Nomi does. Moving ahead, I would like to tell you how the software is integrated. Like it offers everything, that is bookkeeping, final accounts, corporation tax, payroll, CIS, self-assessment, partnership tax return, practice management, document management, company secretarial, task management, lead management, that is your proposals, letter of engagement, quotes and contracts, onboarding you can do there. That is your KYC, KYC AML check, the 64-8 agent authorization request, professional clearance letters you can send to the previous accountants. And then after that, once you complete the onboarding, it does the compliance sync. And the compliance sync is that, and it is like interconnected and linked with all the modules. Like what happens as soon as you do the compliance sync, all the services such as payroll, final accounts, bookkeeping, self-assessment, all these services get created in the compliance module. So you don't have to individually create these, and uh, all this is created as soon as you complete the compliance sync. So this saves lots and lots of time. So onboarding in Nomi is a breeze. Now, I think I've done enough of the talking, and I will now start with the automation and integration, and I'll show you how it works. So firstly, what I'll do, I'll show you some automation features in Nomi, and it's not a complete list, but to show you how we save time for accountants, I will first start with the features such as like KYC, where we have automated this. So KYC is your know your customer, and these checks we have automated. So what we've done, the KYC is submitted to a third party provider that is called ID3 Global, and the software sends automatic reminders to the account managers and clients. And if there are any changes required, then the customers can log in into a customer portal that is offered to them, and they can update their KYC details. Similarly, like if these emails are sent to the account managers, then they get in touch with respective people and update their personal information in case of any changes and submit the KYC. So this is how a KYC form would look like. And all the information is populated. Now this information is also updated by the customer through their document portal. And this KYC check gets due every 365 or 180 days. So you don't have to do it by yourself. All you need to do is you need to click on this accountant setup, and from here you can automate the process. So you have to set this to yes. Do you want to enable automated KYC? And after this, the software will send the request to the account managers and the clients, all that. And if they do not receive a response, like the software does not receive a response, then on the basis of the same data, it will submit a KYC request. Now, when the software submits KYC request for the contacts, it fetches the result on that check. This is submitted digitally to a third-party provider, as I mentioned, and it generates a score between 0 to 2400 with a status of pass, refer, or fail. So this is usually done on the basis of the driving license number or the passport number. And this check is carried on up on the international PEPS sanction list, mortality database, and few other database as well. So anything in pass is good. Like you get a good score above 1000, and that goes into the pass. It's good to proceed with that. Pass means everything is correct. Refer means some of the details have matched, some of the details have not matched. So let's say recently the contact has changed their address, and they've not updated that on the driving license. So that data did not match, and this is now showing as refer. So you can again check with the contact that what is the reason. But yeah, it does not stop you in proceeding further with that record. And fail is something like it's a negative score. So their name is in any of the database. That's why you're getting it as a fail score. And from here it is automated. So let's say you're doing it for 100 or 200 contacts or more than that, then you don't have to do it individually. The software will do it by itself, and it will save lots and lots of time for you. Now, after the KYC, we have the CS01 filing, which is like very important here when we talk about this. So like we have to just click on this company's house to automate the process. So we have to first say that yeah, we want to directly file this to the company secretarial, like to the company's house using Nomi's company secretarial module. And you would also receive the CS submissions. Now what happens here, like once you automate all of the process, then all the confirmation statements are like, even if you're sleeping at that time also, the confirmation statements are filed with the company's house. So the concept is very simple. The practice management verifies the data we hold with the company's house, and if this reconciles, then it sends the draft to the client. Once the draft is approved by the client, it submits the CS01 to company's house and then sends the client CS01 and a copy of that invoice. So it is not only submitting, but it is also generating an invoice for you if you want that. Now, this all you are doing without even spending a single minute. So you don't have to do it manually, and no time is wasted. All the admin time is saved, and it also takes care of many other things like incorporation of a company or appointment of directors, change of directors. So if I click on this company secretarial module, here you can see there is an incorporate label. You can incorporate the company as well. And if you want to like make changes in any of the company's information like appointment of directors or change of directors, so that you can do under this section, like appointment, resignation, all that you can do. Now we'll move to the third one, which is like the automated workflows. So that also we have offered within the CRM, a practice management. And here you can enable the emails. Now these are automated emails which are then sent to either the client managers, like the account managers, or the clients, or the leads even. And they are usually on the confirmation statement deadline and the accounts deadline. So they are then sent to these account managers or the clients, and this is the automation which is provided, these reminders. And in case the client, like if you want to create your own workflow, it then allows you to set up your workflows as well, which is an automation within the system. In case you're looking to send a welcome email to a lead as soon as they sign a contract, then this can be automated as well. So you have to just click on this new workflow. As you click on this new workflow, then you can also create a workflow based on your requirement. Apart from this, we also have an automation on the payroll and the billing side. So if we go back to the payroll, then we can see that in payroll also we are offering automation. So if I click on a particular company, let's say Nomi Limited here, and in Nomi Limited, we have the payroll module. So we can just click on payroll here in the company record. And if the employees, let's say it's a director only company, or the employees are paid on a fixed payment basis, or if you want to make like in every 3-4 months there are some changes which you can make before the payroll run, then in that case you can set up the company on automatic payroll. You have to just click on this edit company, and then the payroll details, and under payroll settings you find this automatic payroll. You can set up this company on automatic payroll, and after that, everything will be done by the software. So once you enable this, then software will run the payroll, email the payslips, submit the RTI on a specific date. It will also email the payroll summary to the employer. And this again frees you from manually processing the payroll for all such companies and emailing the reports as well. So you can set this up here. Now, after auto payroll, we have the auto billing as well. So we'll move to the bookkeeping again. So what happens in the auto billing? We have to go into the sales module. Under sales module, we have the option of repeat invoice. So we have to just first click on this repeat invoice. And every month, we know that every month, every week, every quarter, there are few invoices which we have to create. So instead of doing it manually all the time, we can automate this thing in Nomi. You can come onto the repeat invoice section in the Nomi bookkeeping. And here you have to just set up the date. Like first you have to choose the customer name for which customer you want to do this. After this, you have to select the income type as sale, provide a description here. Let's say we can use this one. And you're charging on a monthly basis, £200 for this. And you can give a start date and an end date. So it should start on 1st of February, and year end date you can pick from here. So for the complete year, it will create this for you. Now you want to create or set this up for subsequent years, then also you can do it. And this is like not generating the invoices automatically, but what else it does for you is it will email the uh, invoice, and it will get the payment as well. So we don't call it just the auto invoice. We call this as auto payment collection. Now, how the auto payment collection comes in place? We have a super feature of NomiPay. So NomiPay is a feature which helps you, like once you have uh, enabled this feature, once you have set up with this feature, NomiPay, you can set up the direct debits with your customers, and you also get a pay now button on the invoices. So what the customers can do, either they can click on the pay now button and they can then pay through the direct what we have, that debit card or the credit card, or even they can pay this through the internet banking. But the best part we have now is direct debit. So in the direct debit also they can set this up. Once you set up the direct debit, all the payment is collected through NomiPay, and the money is in the NomiPay after that from the invoice. And once you get the amount into the payment wallet, because through the direct debit, the money will be collected from the bank account of the customer, and then the money is deposited into the NomiPay wallet. And from here, you can transfer the amount into the bank. Now, the another benefit of NomiPay is that it does not only collect the payment automatically for you, it also frees you from the hassle of again and again chasing the customer and like wasting your admin time in these things, and also frees you from the reconciliation. So you don't have to do any reconciliation because the invoices will be marked as paid automatically. So let's say there is a £200 invoice as we raised there in the repeat invoice section. So this invoice, then the money will be collected. The details will be on the screen that there is an invoice, and on this particular date, the payment will be collected. It will let you know. And after that, the money will be here. And once the money is collected, the invoice is marked as paid. So it's that great feature. Like it totally frees you from all the admin work what you're doing. So rather, I would say it's a zero admin job. Once you have to set this up, and you're totally free from this. Now we'll move ahead and we'll talk about the integration as well. So the whole idea in this, like in our software, is that it should save you significant time. And like it should save you significant time and resources, like once you set this up correctly. So once you have set up everything correctly in Nomi, it will definitely save you lots and lots of time. I can go on, and the best is that I should now start with some real demo for you. And before that, like just on a side note, I would like to update you that we are continuously developing and improving our system, and nothing stops here. Our goal is to be the best partners of accountants and develop as much automation as possible so that accountants can make compliance super profitable. For example, our team is currently working on automating task management and workflows for deadlines and reminders and jobs so that your team does not have to worry about reminding clients and all. And what we love about Nomi is that each module can be used independently with its own suite dashboard and management tools and reports that we have built in. So every like each and every module has a dashboard. So even if you like see here on the final accounts, we have provided the dashboard which shows you how the work is allocated, what all the deadlines are. So you can use that. And it is not necessary like you're using the bookkeeping, then only you can use the final accounts, or if you're using the final accounts, then only you're using the CT600. It's nothing like that. All the modules can be used independently. It's well integrated, and you can always start by recording a lead, sending them the LOEs, and getting the contract signed and doing a direct debit setup directly from the software, as this helps you receive automated payments as well. So the onboarding process, as you start that, uh, then it like converts that lead as a client, and through the compliance sync, it comes into Nomi as we just discussed earlier, and you don't have to create any record again. And here you can start then with the bookkeeping. So as we were in the bookkeeping module, so here you can start doing the bookkeeping, and you can file the VAT returns, and this data gets updated on a real-time basis into final accounts. And as the accounting period gets over, you can see all the data is well updated and filleted, and the full set of accounts are prepared. And the full set of accounts is then attached with the CT600 as I explained. So accounts can be submitted to Companies House and CT600 to HMRC. Then you can process the payroll, and payroll then from there it posts the payroll journals directly into the bookkeeping. So you don't have to do any manual payroll posting into the bookkeeping. And you can also submit the pension contributions directly to the pension providers. SA100 is also well integrated, and through a tax questionnaire, the data can be directly fetched into the individual tax record. Apart from this, it is like well integrated with each and every module. So it fetches the data from bookkeeping, final accounts, payroll, partnership tax return. And not only that, it also gets the data from HMRC. So if HMRC is holding any data for an individual, you can also fetch that data into the tax record. This saves lots and lots of time, and it also helps you achieve accuracy because you've already done all the information update in various modules. And once you've done this, you can send your final accounts record, the final account CT600, as well as the SA100 to the clients for e-sign, and you can get an approval from them. Bookkeeping and CIS are also well integrated, and you can create the subcontractor invoices directly from bookkeeping, and you can also do it under the CIS, and it gets like listed at both the places. We also have 3 mobile applications in Nomi, and this is something we've designed for your customers. So that is usually Nomi Accounting, Nomi Payroll, and Nomi Self Assessment. And you can provide the access to your clients, and they can raise the invoices, scan the receipts, approve the payroll, feed in the number of hours worked by the employees, approve leaves, etc. And in the case of self assessment, they can also reply to the tax questionnaire by keeping a real time check on the tax record, and they can even sign the tax record and make the payment of any tax liability through their mobile application. So there is lots and lots of things, lots and lots of features, integration, automation to offer. And here now we'll start. I'll show you how we can create a lead and then we can send them the contract, how they can sign the contract, and that process will start now. So I'll move to the CRM, and that is the practice management. And on the screen, what happens whenever we click on the CRM, that is our practice management, it takes us to this screen. And this shows you the total number of clients you are dealing with, the total number of clients you have got in the past 30 days, and if you've lost any clients, the total number of clients which are there and the revenue generated from them, and the clients assigned to you. Now, there is an integration between CRM and compliance, as we've already mentioned. So if you add any client to CRM, then you can see that the same client will also get listed in the compliance. And if you add any client in the compliance, that will also get listed in the CRM. Now we'll proceed with the leads dashboard. So on the leads dashboard, you can see uh, all the leads are listed. Now you can add or import the leads which you've generated, and leads also, like through web forms, we have a feature here. So if you integrate that web forms on your website, and anybody, if they leave their information on your website, in the contact us form, you can create it like that, then that will also get listed here. So this is again a part of the automation. So because I told you that there is lots and lots of automation we offer. So this is another one coming through the web forms. The leads are generated automatically through your website. So anybody coming there, leaving their information, they are then set up as lead in Nomi practice management. Now this dashboard is like a similar dashboard which shows you the data on any new leads you have generated in the past 30 days. Out of them, how many you've converted, what's the top lead channel, that is like digital marketing or email marketing, or else like if you're getting more leads through referrals. So it will show you that. This gives you a clear idea of where you have to invest more money in marketing, as it helps generate more and more business. Now, it also shows you the total number of leads assigned and the number of leads still to be contacted. So we'll now start with adding a new lead. So we just click on this add. As we click on add, we have to put in the names. So I'll just enter Ash's name. And rest of the details I have with me. So as soon as we enter the postcode, it gives an option to select the address from this address list. So we can choose the address and move on to the next one. And here, then we have the option to set up the inquiry details. So what it does, the software, it picks the date of inquiry as the current date, which can be changed. And the business type you will have to select on which the value pricing matrix is based. So business type is usually nothing but what sort of organization they are. So let's say the lead has contacted us and they are director in the company. So we'll have to select this as a company. And they're a small business, so we can select this as small business. Then under the lead owner, we have to enter the name. So I will enter my name here. And in the value pricing matrix, which I just mentioned, we have like all the industry standard default services, and we've also created the packages based on those services. And those packages are like standard, premium, and light, which I'll show you under the quotes and contracts. And if any offer code is there which you want to offer, you can do that. And channel you will have to select. So channel, we can say it's a digital marketing. The first contact method was live chat, and the source was Facebook advertisement. And because on the Facebook page we are running a Facebook advert, and the client clicked on that, they were redirected to a live chat on the website, and then we had the first conversation. So this is the information we can record. We can move on to the next one, and here we have the services required. So once we update the information there, here we can select the frequency of the services requested by the lead. So they say that it's one of an ongoing both type of services they want, and it's a monthly frequency. And here we can select the services. Although, as I mentioned, like all the detailed services will be there uh, under the quotes and contracts. Now I can click on next. As I click on next, the business details are there. So if I click on the company name, all the details will be fetched from the company's house. So we are well integrated with the company's house as well. And whenever you add any company or any LLP, all that data is imported from the company's house. So we'll now click on next, and here we have to enter the trading postcode. So either we can use the same address, or we can also enter some different postcode, and as we enter the postcode again, we can choose the address and then click on next. So this is how we can first record a lead, and as we record a lead, we can update various details such as marketing related information. We can send the emails, we can receive the emails, because there is a two-way integration here. And if you send an email, you will also, like if the client responds on that, you will also receive a response, and that response will also be marked here. So it's a two-way communication, like two-way email integration, and all the communication is at one place. And you can send the SMS, but that's one way. And in case you want to create a task to do any follow-ups, you can do that. So all that is possible from here. Now we'll move to the quotes and the contracts dashboard. So here we have the options to view the information, like different information we have here. Now this is the dashboard which shows you the data uh, concerning the past 30 days. Again, the similar sort of data we have, like the contracts which you've sent, the contracts which are signed, the total business generated, that is the signed up value in the past 30 days. Anything under awaiting signature means that the contracts sent by you are still not signed, so you can follow up on them. And if you miss sending any contract, then it will show under unsent contracts, and you can review that, and you can again send this like to the client for e-signature to that particular lead. Now, all the codes and the contracts that you generate also get listed on the screen. And if something is in draft, you can again edit that record and complete the process. So we'll now start with the quote and contract, and we'll click on new quote in the top right corner. So now we are on this window. We can create a quote or a contract for a lead which we have added, or an existing client or a contact as well. So we'll just enter the name. As we enter the name, the business type and inquiry type is updated. And it's a 9-step process which will help us creating the code and the contract, and then we can get it signed electronically by the lead, and the software will allow you to like as I mentioned, create the contract from here. So we'll update this channel, and the code type is new. So I'm the contract owner for this lead, and we are giving ad hoc and recurring services, both of them, because when we added the lead, we saw that we are doing it for both the services. And now we'll click on next. Now on the screen, you can select the packages from the drop-down, such as premium, standard, light, and based on your selection, the services that are included in that package are selected by default. And if you want to include any other services, then you can select those services as well. So let's say if I select the premium package, all the services related to the premium package would appear. And if I want to choose the services of my choice, I can do that. So I want to include these services which have been agreed with the lead that they want to avail these services, and one VAT registration, so we'll select. And in case you're looking to customize anything like the services and packages, that you can do under the value pricing matrix. This value pricing matrix is available under the accountant setup. Now we'll move ahead, and that is pricing drivers. So in the pricing drivers, again, this help us decide the factors such as a turnover threshold, monthly bookkeeping transaction, type of self-assessment, what are the various supplementary forms there, payroll frequency, and all these are like preset under the value pricing matrix. So we have to just set up these parameters here. So we can say the turnover has to be between 20K to 85K. That has been like agreed on. And we are posting 100 transactions a month. Then SA return type, we can say it's dividend and wages, and nothing is included apart from that. Because let's say if you're doing the capital gains, then there is a £150 calculation, like there is a charge of that. So we have a £150 increase as soon as we include the capital gain. So we can say weekly and monthly frequency, and for 2 employees it is. And then it's wages and pension. So pension calculation is also involved. Then again, the charges will increase. Now we are on the package quote, and on the screen you can see that we have a custom package based on the services which we've selected, and then there are 3 more packages, that is premium, standard, and light. Now these packages include the services which are a part of the custom package, and apart from that they also offer extra services, and there are few discounts on these packages. Now in case you want to upsell the services and get extra for these few services, then that you are offering right now, then you may give the lead a choice to choose between the custom package and the premium, standard, or light package. So I can select this one, and I can offer the lead a choice, like I can give them a choice that either they can select this one or this one. And we can also change the payment frequency. Let's say we want to receive a monthly fee, then we can do that as well. And the payment type is direct debit, go cardless, or direct debit manual. So once we set this up, then a direct debit mandate is also sent as soon as the contract is signed by the customer. Then a direct debit mandate is sent to the customer, and they can set this up. Once it is set up, it helps us in collecting the payments automatically on a specific date. Now, any sales members, if they're doing it and they want to request a higher discount on the custom package itself, then they can click on this request higher discount. And as they click on this request higher discount, they can then send, they can like say that we want to give a 20% discount or a 30% discount to sell the package to this lead. So this will then be sent to the approving authority, that account manager, and they will approve it. Once they approve it, then they can send this quote and the contract to the lead. Now we can click on next from here. And on the screen, we have the ad hoc quote. So any services like which are one-off in nature, like VAT registration or a P11D we are doing, then we can do it under the ad hoc quote. Then again, we can click on next, and we have the terms and conditions. So these terms and conditions are coming from a template, which is the appendix 2. And this is the standard one. You can make the changes because every firm has different terms and conditions. Now we can click on next again from here, and it will take us to the quote screen. So as you will click on next, you will be able to see the logo of the company, like your firm's logo would appear here. And then you can say proposal for Ash Numisma Limited. And the quote number is there, the issue date, the valid date is always 7 days from the issued date. And then it says like the logo will appear, the name of the person, and it says, dear Ashley, based on your requirements and information provided, we have estimated the following quote. Please review it and confirm it. And then you have the recurring fee, the custom, and the premium, because you're giving the choice to the customer which one they want. So all these services are included in the premium, but only some of them are included under the custom. And this is the actual price they're paying. So it's not much of a difference there. So it will help you in upselling as well, and they can then choose which one to select. Statement of facts, then the payment terms and conditions, and finally the signature of the person. So this is how the quote would look like. Once the quote is generated, then we can send the quote. So we can click on this send quote. And in any given case, if the lead says that they don't want to receive any quote, they just want to receive a contract. So you can click on skip and go to contract as well. And you can just generate the contract. So right now we'll click on send quote. And as we click on send quote, we are on the screen. And this is the HTML view. Now this HTML view is like uh, it looks more professional as we compare to the PDF version. So what happens, like whenever you send this quote to the lead, they receive an email, and in the email it's in the same way they will receive it like, dear Ashley, we are really looking forward to working with you. As promised, I've generated a quote for you for the services you'll require. You'll be able to access and accept the quote by clicking the following link. And as Ash will click here, he'll be redirected to a web page, and on that web page he can then read out the complete quote. So it's like designed in a very beautiful way. And it also gives the option to Ash to either accept or reject. So if Ash will accept it, you'll receive an email that the quote has been accepted. And if Ash will reject, then also you will receive an email that the quote has been rejected by him. Now let's say we have sent this, and once we click on send, we can proceed further. So right now we'll click on go to summary, and we are on the screen. So we had sent this quote and Ash accepted this and he has chosen the premium package. So we'll just select the premium here, and we can see all the services are included. This is the discount that is offered by default, although all this can be changed in the value pricing matrix. And on the first date you want to receive the installment, or on the fifth you want to receive the installment, that is up to you. So that you can set up from here. And then comes the ad hoc service, which is a one-off, and there you have to like click on generate contract. Now, as you click on generate contract, you are on the screen where you can see that there is an engagement letter, there is a director guarantee letter, direct debit, go cardless mandate, and then there is a self-assessment registration form. So if you want the director to get registered for the self-assessment, then also you can just tick this checkbox, and it also sends that registration form. And a director guarantee letter is nothing but like, if you want the director to give you a guarantee that in case of any dues that are not paid, the director will be personally liable for that and they'll make the payment. So this sort of guarantee they would provide to you. And direct debit go cardless is also there. So we'll just click on now generate and review contract, and this will show how the engagement letter looks like. So on the screen, we can first click on preview. And as we click on preview, the document is then updated. So we can see the PDF, how it looks like. I'll just show you that again. So as you can see on the screen, the logo of our firm is there, and then it says to Ashley Jonathan Hall, Nomisma Limited, and then it says, dear Ashley, we are delighted to accept the appointment as your accountant, and we are writing to confirm the matters we have agreed. The company is bound by the ethical and professional guidelines of the institute and in accepting instructions to act for you. So all this text will be there, whatever has been agreed, everything in detail, in a proper documented way. You don't have to like go through any other paper forms or like on the Word files or like that. You can use this, the letter of engagement. These are pre-populated templates. You can customize them as well. You can change the wordings wherever you require. So it's like it looks more professional and it is all documented. So it shows you everything what you're going to cover in that. This is the payment terms and conditions. And finally, the signature. So your signature will appear here like by default for and on behalf of Nomisma Limited here. And then below is the signature of the client, that particular director. So their signature would also appear. And then the terms and conditions. So these are like professional obligations and everything. So these terms and conditions are there. So you can see like if the accounting body right now we have selected as a AAT, then based on that it will update all of this. So here it is saying in the professional obligations, in the first one we can see that in performing the services we'll observe the bylaws, regulations and ethical guidelines of the association of accounting technicians. So here we can see that. So this is how we can like send the letter of engagement. I'll just share my screen again with you. So to send this, what we have to do, we have to just click on send, and as we click on send, it will send the document. And as it sends the document, we'll get the message that this has been sent to the customer. So it says the contract has been sent successfully. So let's see, we'll receive the email. As we receive the email, we can then review and sign the contract. So we have received the document. So we'll just see how it looks like. So I'm just trying to open that email for you. So as you can see, it says like the email is there. Hello Ash, the document, like Rahul Mathur from Nomisma Limited has requested you to sign this document, and then we can like click on review and sign. So as we'll click on review and sign, then we'll be on that uh, third-party providers web page where we have to sign the contract. Ash will sign this, and once Ash will sign, then so let me show you how it looks like. So now we are on this document, and the document is being opened now. So as and when when we sign this document, again we move to that screen where we have the option to click on continue, and as we click on continue, we can then proceed further from there. So let me see when this gets uploaded. I'll also show you this one. So I'll just click on continue now. So as we click on continue, it takes us to the screen and it says that it has been sent. The pricing status is reviewed. Earlier, it would have been like a contract sent. And once it is reviewed by the lead, it says that it is reviewed. And as it is signed, it says that the contract has been signed. So the document has just uploaded. Let me show you that. So here we can make the signature, and we have to just click on this. As we click on this, we can draw the signature. So we can click on next, and everywhere it will get populated like. So this is how we can sign it. Ash would sign it, and then we can click on finish signing. And as we click on finish signing, then we have to click on I agree, and it signs the documents. So we have signed the document now, and as soon as we sign the document, we again receive an email that the document has been signed, and we'll just move to another screen. So we've received the email as well, and now if I refresh the screen, so you can see that the contract has been signed. Now, as the contract is signed, the person will come onto the onboarding, and here we can see that Ash is under the onboarding. So we can start the onboarding for Ash, and then we can click on start. So we can set up the position for Ash here. We can do the KYC if we want. Then we have the company details like the address where it was incorporated, everything. Then we can move next, and the trading related information is there. Then we have marketing related information. We have the operations related information like who's the account manager, who's the accountant, what is the service frequency, what is the agreement fee, all that. And after that, we have the software, like what are softwares we are using at the moment. So if you're using different softwares, you can mark those as well. Under the drop down, you'll find the options, and then you can click on next. And from here, you can move to the next step, which is the KYC. So we'll click on verify now and we'll move to the second stage. And here we have to click on add KYC. As we click on add KYC, again, like all the details are like missing at the moment. We don't have the passport number or the other details like postcode and all that. Since we have already created Ashley Hall as a contact in the first part of the onboarding, we can now give Ash customer portal access, and there Ash can update all the information related like this personal information, date of birth, everything. And once we get all this information, the passport or the driving license, then we can click on this submit digitally. And as we click on submit digitally, the KYC gets like the KYC check is done. And this is something which is done through a third party provider called ID3 Global, and it will generate the score between 0 to 2400 and the status as pass, refer, or fail. And then after this, we can perform the next steps as well. So we'll move back right now and we'll click on self-assessment. Here we can create the self-assessment record as well. We have to just update the NI and UTR. We can now move to the next step, which is the agent auth. So this is the 64-8 request if we want to send for PAY, CIS, corporation tax, or self-assessment. So all these details are updated. We just need to update the CT UTR and click on submit, and a 64-8 request is submitted to HMRC. HMRC will generate the code and share it with the client, and then they will share it with us. We can update that code, and we are authorized agent for this particular company. Next is the professional clearance. So in the professional clearance, we can again set this to required, and we have to update the details of the person of the previous accountant to whom we are sending this. And all this information that we require from the previous accountant is there. If you want to customize any of this information, then also we can customize that under accountant setup. And as we click on save, a PDF is generated. So on this screen, you can see the logo of the firm will be there, and then it says professional clearance request, Nomi Limited, and then the address of the company for whom we are doing it, and then it's the details of that accountant, and it says read Nomi Limited professional clearance request, and all the information which we want from them, and it also says that uh, we have been requested or we have been approached to accept appointment as accountants and tax advisors to the above company and to similarly act for their personal tax affairs. And we would be grateful if you could please advise us so whether we should accept it or not. And if yes, like what all details are there, and all this can be shared by the previous accountant on a document portal. So we're also sending this email, and they have the access to this, and they can also upload all the information on that document portal. So let's say we have received the information from them, then under VAT, we can update that details here. Like in the VAT details, we can set this to yes, we can update all the information here. Similarly, for payroll also, we can update HMRC government gateways, we can record, and the company authorization code we can update. So once we update it here, we don't have to update it again and again. Since everything is centralized, well integrated, then you don't have to redo the things, and it again saves a lot and lot of time. Next is task, but that is like a checklist. So on the screen, like these are the due dates for these checklist. You would like to send a welcome email, welcome call, or give them some sort of software training. You can provide the access to bookkeeping as well and payroll, and you want to give them some sort of software access and software training. So that is also possible. So all these you can assign to different account managers, and they can then once they complete it, they can update the date here. And then we have the compliance sync. So under compliance sync, we have the option to create this company record onto the Nomi compliance. So right now it says registered office line 2 is not updated. So we have to update that. We'll just click on edit client. Anything which is not updated shows under the red color. So we'll quickly update it. We'll click on clients, and the company is listed there. So we'll click on trading and address information, and on the screen we can just update the address line. So once we updated this, we can move back, and on the screen we can then do the compliance sync. So here we get this create label. As we click on create label, and you can see corresponding compliance files were created on 11th of January 2024. So this is already now created, and if we want to check, we can also first like go into the clients menu, and here we have Nomisma Limited, the company there. So we can click on the name Nomisma Limited, and under Nomisma Limited we can click on compliance and deadlines, and here we can update the services which we want. Like in the bookkeeping, we want the service to be active. We can click on save changes. Similarly, for final account also we want the service to be active, and we want the payroll to be active. So we can go into the payrolls, because we can keep a complete control from here. We don't have to separately create any services. So right now we don't have the payroll information with us, so we cannot mark it as active, but we can update the data here and click on save changes, and we'll get the active service into Nomi compliance. And so this is how like we can create a lead and send them the quote and contract, do the onboarding. In the onboarding, like 64/8 request we can do the KYC AML checks, professional clearance request is there, we can create their self-assessment records. All this we can do. And once the compliance sync is done, like which is the last step for the onboarding process, then after that all the company records, whether it is a sole trader or a company LLP partnership, that gets created on the agent hub, and we can keep a complete control of the services. So it also frees you like from the hassle of creating the records again and again here and there, and it saves a lot of time. Now we'll move to agent hub, and I'll show you how the company shows up there. So you can see Nomisma Limited, bookkeeping and final accounts we created, and both the records are showing up here. So we have to just click on this Nomisma Limited, and it will take us to the bookkeeping record. And we can also set up the Nomi Pay if we want to. So from here we can do that. And here we can start recording the information. Now I'll start with the bookkeeping module and its integration, like how first we saw how we can add a lead, and from a lead we created a company and we created that record and we brought that record into compliance. And now we can start doing all the information, like all these things here. So we'll go back to Agent Hub, and we'll take example of a company on the screen. So as I type in the name Nomi, all the active services for Nomi Limited would show, that is bookkeeping, final accounts, payroll, and CIS. So now we are going to discuss the integration of different modules with each other. So I'll click on bookkeeping, and as I click on bookkeeping, it takes us to the bookkeeping module. Now I have mentioned earlier as well, like all the modules are well integrated. So now I'm going to show you how bookkeeping is integrated, and it is mainly integrated with final accounts, CIS, and self-assessment. So we'll first see how it is integrated with the final accounts. So on the screen, as you can see, the turnover, that is the sales figure, is 68,796 pounds. And for the period 23-24, that is the accounting period. And the same data is updated on the final accounts as well. So we have to just click on final accounts. Now, as we clicked on final accounts, we can see that the same data is updated here as well. So for the current period, you can see the same data is updated here, but we'll see it under the filleted and the full set of accounts, like the full set of accounts is there. So we click on the full set of accounts, and in the full set of accounts also the same turnover would show up. So here we'll click on income statement, and under the income statement, The same sort of like figures are there. That is 68,797. So it has also rounded that off for you. And you can see it is coming from bookkeeping. Now, even if you post an invoice of £1,000, or if you post a journal that affects the turnover, it will also update it automatically here. You don't have to do it manually, because the software is like well integrated. Data is coming through from bookkeeping on a real-time basis into final accounts. So you can see that the turnover figure is also updated. And not only the turnover figure, any transactions that you are posting into the bookkeeping, they get updated here in the final accounts on a real-time basis. So how it is helping you, like it is improving your productivity, and it is reducing the errors time and prepare and the like effort in preparing the final accounts. Like you don't have to first do that manually there and then redo it in the final accounts. It is directly doing it for you. The software is doing that for you. Now it shows you the bookkeeping, like we'll go to the bookkeeping to CIS integration. We have that integration as well. So if we go into the expenses module, here we get the option to raise the subcontractor invoices for the CIS 300 monthly billing, like those returns. So here we can click on new subcontractor bill, and then we can raise the bill from here. So any bill which we raise for the supplier, then that bill would also show up. So this is how you can update it, and you can then click on save. As you click on save, this gets updated in the CIS. So this is the CIS module here on the left hand side. We can again click on CIS on the left hand side. And as we click on CIS, so any invoice that we raise there, it shows up on the screen. So here you can see the source is like bookkeeping. So that is showing up. So if you raise the invoice there in the bookkeeping, it will show here. Or if you raise the invoice in CIS, then also like it shows in bookkeeping and here as well. So it shows at both the places. And if you're looking to register any subcontractor, you can do that. You can add a subcontractor, you can verify them from the HMRC. And if they're already verified, then you can add them. And if the suppliers which are there, they are registered for CIS, then you can edit their records and you can then mark them as registered for CIS. So that is what you have to do. Now, the third one is the bookkeeping to self-assessment. So again, like we go into this bookkeeping module. And if you raise any dividend vouchers, then those dividend vouchers are then shown up. Like here, you can raise a dividend voucher. So if you click on dividends, and here, like for this person, Bunny, you have created, like you've raised a dividend voucher, then you can also link this with the record of that particular individual. So first, you have to like click on issue dividend. Once you click on issue dividend, you have to choose the person to whom you want to issue, the director. So here you have to enter the dividend amount, and after that you have to click on pay. Once you do this, the dividend voucher will be created, and then you can click on like you can go on to the self-assessment record. You have to click on self-assessment client list, and here you can see the record Bunny. So you can just click on the name, and this is the dashboard of the SA100 of that individual. And on the screen, we have to like click on income and dividend. Now, as we click on dividend, we get the option to link the dividend from bookkeeping module. So here we click on edit. As you can see right now, it's already linked on this particular date, that is 31st of March. So even if I delete this record and I show how it is linked, then we have to like just click on this link dividend. And on the screen, you can see the company name is Nomi Limited. Bunny is getting a dividend from there. He is a director as well as a shareholder. And I will just click on this, and the amount that has been generated there for this period will get listed. So you can see the message, you have successfully linked dividend income with the bookkeeping Nomismo module. So this is how bookkeeping is linked with these modules such as final accounts, and then we have the CIS and as the like the self-assessment also. Now the next integration we will talk about is final accounts with different modules. So we'll move to the final accounts module now. And final accounts is mainly integrated with the CT600 self-assessment and the partnership. And whenever you're filing a CT600, the report is attached automatically, the IXPRL, and the full set of accounts is then attached in the self-employment supplementary form for a sole trader. And similarly, if you're preparing any final accounts for the partnership or LLP, then in case of you're filing any SA800, there also you can fetch the information in the SA800. So first we'll see how it is linked with the CT600. So under final accounts, all the data is updated from the bookkeeping module on a real-time basis, as we've just seen. However, if you're not using the bookkeeping module, then you can still update the data with the help of a trial balance import. So we have a trial balance here. We can click on trial balance entry. So here we can import through the CSV, and the software is like Xero and QuickBooks, and we can quickly import or fetch the information from there as well. And in case we want to post a manual journal, then we can do that also. Now, once the data is updated, like usually we do through the bookkeeping, but if any other mode we have imported the information, then as we import the data, it populates two reports, that is filleted and the full set of accounts. And the filleted is the short report that can be submitted to the company's house. And the full set of accounts is then further attached as an IXPRL with the CT600. And all the data is updated within the corporation tax. Now, this frees you from the burden of manual data input on the CT600, and you also don't have to attach any report manually. This integration saves a lot of time and removes any room for errors. So we'll see here in the final accounts, like we've already seen the report. So we'll click on CT computation, and on the screen, first we'll see the full set of accounts as well. So let me open that. So we have this full set of accounts, and on the income statement, we can see the profit for the year. That is 32,063. I'll just change the accounting period, that is 22 to 23 here. And in that accounting period, like as you can see again, on the income statement, we have the profit worth £41,155. So we'll move to the CT600 and we'll change the accounting period here as well. And on the screen, it will show you the same figure which is there on the final accounts. So in the final accounts, as you have seen here, it shows you 41,155. The same profit it is showing you here. Why it is so? Because it says profit as per accounts, 1st of April 22 to 31st of March 23. So this is the level of integration. Everything is attached automatically. You are not required to add anything manually by yourself. Everything is done by the software. So data flows from the final accounts to the corporation tax. And in case you're looking for any adjustments, then we have provided a CT adjustment tab here. So you can use the CT adjustments tab and you can make the changes. So if you make any changes, then those changes will be reflected on the CT600. So this is the place where you can make the changes. And let's proceed to the next integration, that is between final accounts and SA100. So in the final accounts to SA100 integration, like in usually it is done in the case of sole traders, we can prepare the sole trader accounts on the final accounts. And whenever we are doing the SA100 for the sole trader, then all the data can be fetched from the final accounts module directly into the self-employment supplementary page. So let us see the final accounts of the sole trader first. So we'll move to the clients now. And we'll also open the record of the individual again. So Bunny is a sole trader. We'll just click on the name here. And as we click on the name, we are on this record of our final accounts and then the self-assessment as well. So first we'll see how the final accounts look like. And yeah, we've also opened the individual record of the sole trader. And here on the screen, we'll just click on income statement. Just change the accounting period on the screen. So on the screen now we can see that uh, the data is already there. The turnover is showing up, whatever the cost of sales are, and it is showing the profit for the year as well. So all this data is updated for this year. Now, if you're doing the bookkeeping for that particular sole trader, you don't have to update all this data. You don't have to prepare any accounts. The accounts will get prepared by itself. And in case you are not doing the bookkeeping, then also like as I mentioned earlier, we can always import the data or post a journal, and then we can prepare the final accounts. So once we have prepared the final accounts, then all the data can be linked into the self-employment page. So now we'll move to the individual record. Here we'll click on income and then self-employment. Now on the screen, we have the link business option. So first delete this one, the existing one which we already linked. So we have an option here to click on this link business. As we click on link business, we can see the turnover 107,933.92. And let us go back to the final accounts and the same 107,934. So like this is the rounded off, and here we are seeing that again the turnover is there. Now it's a full form, it's not a short form because it's above the threshold. And we can give a description here like catering and click on link. As we click on link, the record is then linked with the individual that sole traders individual record. So here we can see the income, expenses, everything. So all the data is updated on the screen. And if you make any changes in the final accounts, then that data will also get updated on the screen. So sometimes like it feels like magic is there because quickly we are getting the data. We have just prepared it in the final accounts, and based on that, we are updating the information here. We don't have to do it manually because manually it would take lots and lots of time again. And we have to do many tax returns and many self-employment, employment forms. And if we start doing it individually one by one, it will take a lot of time. So we can click on save, and once we click on save, we can proceed further. So integration has saved your time, like otherwise that manual data input would have been there, and It also sometimes leads to incorrect filing, like because if you missed on anything, if you missed on any expense or something goes wrong, then that is an incorrect data to HMRC like you have submitted. So again, you have to do a amended filing for that. So that it saves you from that as well. Now, the next integration between the final accounts is like between the final accounts and the partnership. So we'll go into the partnership return and let me show you in this only. So I'll just take the name of the partnership here. So we have already updated the accounts here in the final accounts. So we click on the final accounts record, and here we can see how the final accounts look like. So we can click on this record, final accounts. And similarly, we can also open the partnership record for this firm. So we can click on this. So on the screen, we can see like the income statement. And here it's showing us the turnover, then the cost of sales, gross profit, everything, all the expenses and everything is updated in the final accounts report. Now this report will be then further attached with uh, like we can update these accounts in the partnership tax return. So here we have this trade and investment income, the trade details screen. Here we have to click on this and we can then click on edit. Now, as we click on edit, we have link business income option. So we click on link business income and you can see the same turnover is updated. That is 142,933.92. And if you see here, same is updated here as well. Like first we update this in the final accounts and this information we can pull through into the partnership tax return. So obviously it's not a short one. We have to just click on save. As we click on save, all the data is then populated into the tax return, the partnership tax return of that firm. So you can see under income and expenses, all the expenses are updated here and any adjustments in taxable profits, balance sheet, all the information will be updated directly by the software. And you can make any changes if required, and those changes will also reflect here in the partnership tax return. So that is what we can do. Again, we can save a lot of time and the data will be directly updated from the final accounts to the partnership. Now in Nomi, every module has its own play and it offers lots and lots of integration. Like instead of hiring more staff members to do this sort of admin work, the software helps you reduce the time taken to complete a job. And it also reduces your admin costs and it improves the efficiency and productivity. Now let's move towards the integration of self-assessment with other modules and how we can get the data into self-assessment. So we'll just close the rest of the records. And we'll move to the self-assessment. So we click on this client list and we'll click on the record of the individual. Now on the screen, as you can see, that we have a dedicated mobile application. Like this is the dashboard, which shows you all the information. Uh, like what are the agent approvals, agent questionnaires, what you filed, what you have to be like, what is to be filed as compared to last year. So it gives you the full information on the screen. And through that mobile application, clients can also answer the tax questionnaire, which is there in the top right corner. So we can send this tax questionnaire to the clients. You can just click on this and it will take you through. I'll show you that as well. And it can be signed uh, through the mobile app also. They can also pay the liability. Now, we also have introduced a tax planning tool, and we call that as a what if tool. So here you can create the plans with your clients when you're on phone or they're visiting you in the office. And this also allows you to create multiple tax plans, and this helps you properly plan the tax as well. So I'll brief you on the integrations of self-assessment. So the very first is with the tax questionnaire, which we can see in the top right corner. Then you can get the data from HMRC as well. You can get the data from bookkeeping, final accounts, payroll, and partnership tax return. So all that you can do. So let's move on step by step. First, we'll see how with the tax questionnaire. So first, I'll show you what a tax questionnaire is. So we can select a contact here. Like as we select the contact, we can click on next. This is the email coming from the template. And then again, we click on next, and on the screen, we can see all the 26 questions are there. So we can go through all these 26 questions, and this is then sent to the client, and they receive an email, and on the email also they can reply it. To access this document, they just need to enter their date of birth. Same is the case on the mobile app as well, and they can answer it from there. So let's say they were in employment, so they will have to update what is the total pay from the employment, and what is the detail on the taxes side, how much tax they have paid. So they can just check their P60 and fill in that information, and they can also upload the P60. And if they were in multiple employments, then also they can provide the information to you. And what the software will do, it will collect the information and it will import all the information so that you don't have to do it manually by yourself. So this is how, like, it's a very wonderful feature in Nomi, which helps you in importing data directly from the individual's perspective into the software. So we can see on the screen, like I was speaking about that what if tool. So this is the what if tool here, and uh, this is the tax planning tool. I'll just quickly show you before I move on with the integration. So this is a create a plan. Here you can create the plan as well, and you can update all the information like employment related data, dividend related data, all that. Now on the dashboard, we get the option. Let's say the client has responded to that questionnaire. So we have to just click on import data from questionnaire. And as we click on import data from questionnaire, then we can see that all the data will be updated here. Now, once the data is updated, we can review the data and click on save. And the data will be then saved in the respective forms uh, correctly. So this is how quickly you can update all the information into the tax record. And the same way we can also get the data from HMRC. So the prerequisite is that we have to just set this up, HMRC data setting, the tokens we have to generate. And once we generate the tokens, like we have to log in as an agent and generate these tokens. Once we generate these tokens, we can again come onto the screen, click on get data from HMRC, and all the data is then updated from the HMRC's end, like employment income if they hold any, or any pension or retirement annuities, incapacity benefit, job seekers allowance, all this information you can save directly into the tax record of the individual. Now we'll go to the bookkeeping module. Like we've already seen here, we can link the dividend. So we can just click on this dividend, and here we can link the dividend as well. So this is the integration with the bookkeeping, which we've already covered in the bookkeeping module. And after this, we have the linking with the payroll module. So how we can do that? We have to just click on this employment. As we click on employment, we can click on link employment. And here we can search for the person Bunny. If we're running payroll for this person named Bunny anywhere in any of the companies, we can then get all the payroll related information directly into the tax record. So that is what we can do it from here. So we can link the payroll module as well. Now in the final accounts, what we have to do, we can click on self-employment. And for a sole trader, we can fetch the information. So as I showed how final accounts is linked with the self-assessment, we can quickly link the business here as I showed you, and then we can get the data from the final accounts module. And with the partnership tax return, so we have to like click on partnership. And as we click on partnership, then we have the option here to get like link the individual. So we have to like click on this link individual, and Bunny is a partner in LLP Investment Services. So this is a LLP. And as we click on this link, then all the data which is there will be like what SA 800 we filed for that. So you can see taxable profits 20,000. Now this data is linked with the individual. This is coming from the partnership tax return. So this well integrated is the self-assessment module. So all the data will be fetched from there. So SA100 is integrated in many ways, and it always helps accountants enhance their productivity and meet deadlines on time. Now we are left with the payroll integration, how it is integrated with bookkeeping and the self-assessment. So we'll quickly cover that. Like payroll, we've already seen how it is linked. So even if like we want to see the payroll is under employment, we can fetch the details from the payroll. And when we talk about the bookkeeping, so we can just see. So we can like click on this payroll service, and as we click on this, we takes us to the payroll dashboard. Here we have the journals option. We click on the journals, and on the screen it will show you that all the journals are posted. So if you see for transaction number 944, that is 31st of December 23, then it will show you that the employee salary expense is 3,368 pounds, and this is the default employee wages payable. So this is how the journal is posted into the bookkeeping. Now to check this how it is posted, we can then move into the bookkeeping module. So we have to just go back here and open the bookkeeping, and then we can check the nominal ledger report. So we can click on reports. And here we can go into the nominal ledger report. So on the screen, we can see the employee salary expense. We can click on employee, and then we can search for the employee salary expense. So here we have this 944. Now, if you click on 944, this is the same employee salary expense, 3,368 that was being posted into the payroll module. So this wages journal is coming, and this is posted on like for 31st of December. So this how like it's so much well integrated. You don't have to worry about anything. It's just the data entry. The initial data entry is done, and everything is taken care of by the software. And Self-assessment also, if we want to see like it's the same thing again, like we can go into employment and from payroll we can fetch the information. So integration is very useful. You don't have to use different softwares, learn different softwares. All you need is one software, and that is Nomi, which will cater to all of your needs. And under one umbrella, you will get bookkeeping, payroll, final accounts, corporation tax, self-assessment, partnership tax returns, CIS, practice management, whatever you want, and also the company secretarial. And it allows to do like it gives so much features. You can do everything at one place. So this is what we have, like everything we have included under one software. And our idea is that lots and lots of time we can save and more productivity can be increased. So we've covered the integration. If you have any questions, do let me know. Thank you.